Drop your need to control everything, my dear, and let your miracles flow easily into your life. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Place one hand gently on your heart and let yourself arrive here fully. You have been holding so much. You have been trying to think ahead, plan ahead, fix ahead, protect ahead. You have been trying to make sure nothing falls apart, nothing goes wrong, nothing leaves, nothing delays, nothing hurts you again. And maybe, deep inside, you are tired. Breathe. You do not have to carry every outcome today. You do not have to hold every answer in your hands. You do not have to watch life so closely that you forget to live it. There is another way, a softer way, a more peaceful way. You can release control without losing your life. You can let go without giving up. You can stop forcing and still receive. In fact, my dear, many of your miracles begin to move closer the moment you stop gripping them so tightly. Because life does not need your panic to bless you. Life does not need your fear to guide you. Life does not need your overthinking to bring the right thing at the right time. Life needs your openness. Life needs your trust. Life needs your soft, willing heart. So take a slow breath in. Let it be simple. Let it be gentle. And as you breathe out, imagine that you are putting down a heavy coat you have worn for far too long. This coat is made of worry. It is made of what if. It is made of late night thinking, silent fear, and the deep need to make everything happen your way. Maybe you wore this coat because you believed it kept you safe. Maybe you wore it because life once felt uncertain. Maybe you wore it because you were afraid that if you did not control everything, everything would fall apart. But today, you are allowed to take it off. Softly, slowly, with love. You do not have to throw it away in anger. You do not have to shame yourself for wearing it. You can simply notice that it is heavy. You can notice that it is no longer helping you breathe. You can notice that peace is asking to come closer. I release control now. I trust life to guide me. My miracles flow easily. Let those words move through your body like warm light. You are not being asked to stop caring. You are not being asked to stop taking action. You are not being asked to sit still and do nothing while life passes you by. No, my dear, you are being invited to stop fighting the flow. You are being invited to stop holding the door shut and then wondering why the blessing cannot enter. There is a difference between loving action and anxious control. Loving action feels steady. Anxious control feels tight. Loving action says, I will do what is mine to do today. Anxious control says, I must make everything happen now, or I am not safe. Feel the difference in your body. When you try to control everything, your breath becomes smaller, your shoulders rise, your stomach tightens, your mind moves in circles. You check, you wait, you imagine the worst. You try to prepare for pain, before it even arrives. And all of this can feel normal when you have lived this way for a long time. But normal does not always mean natural. Your natural state is not fear. Your natural state is not tension. Your natural state is peace, right here, right now. Even if your life is not perfect, even if you do not know what will happen next, even if the answer has not arrived yet, peace is still available in this breath. So let your hand rest on your heart and say quietly inside yourself, I am allowed to feel safe without controlling everything. Say it again, gently. I am allowed to feel safe without controlling everything. Notice what happens. Maybe a part of you believes it. Maybe another part of you resists it. That is okay. We are not forcing belief. We are opening a small door, just a small door. That is enough. So much of control begins with the belief that life cannot be trusted. Maybe you learned this from moments when things changed suddenly. Maybe you learned it from disappointment. Maybe you learned it from being let down. Maybe you learned it because you had to become strong before you were ready. And if that is true, bless your heart. You were only trying to survive. You were only trying to protect your peace. You were only trying to make sure you would not be hurt again. But survival is not the same as living. Protection is not the same as peace. Holding on is not the same as being safe. At some point, the hands that protected you must learn how to open, receive, trust. This is not always easy at first. The mind may say, but what if I let go and nothing works out? The body may say, but I do not know how to relax. The heart may say, but I have been disappointed before. And love answers, we will go slowly. You do not have to release everything today. You only need to release one small piece of control in this moment. One breath, one thought, one tight place in your body, one outcome you have been trying to force. That is how miracles begin. Not always with a loud change, sometimes with a soft exhale, sometimes with open hands, sometimes with the simple choice to stop fighting life for 1 minute. Breathe. Let the body hear this truth. You are not alone in your life. You are not the only power working here. There is a wisdom greater than your worry. There is a timing deeper than your fear. There is a love moving through your life even when you cannot see it. You may not know how the answer will come. You may not know when the door will open. You may not know why the delay happened, but you can still choose to soften, because control does not create miracles. Control creates pressure. Trust creates space, and space is where miracles enter. Think of your life like a room. If the room is filled from wall to wall with old boxes, heavy furniture, and things you are afraid to move, there is no space for anything new. But the moment you clear even one corner, light can enter, air can move. Something fresh can arrive. That is what release does. It makes room. It tells life, I am ready to stop blocking what is trying to bless me. Maybe the miracle is not far away. Maybe it is not lost. Maybe it is not being held back from you. Maybe it has simply been waiting for a little more room inside your heart, a little more trust, a little more softness, a little more willingness. So let this be your beginning, not a perfect beginning, not a forced beginning, a gentle beginning. You are here. You are breathing. You are listening. Something in you already knows that the old way is too heavy now. Something in you already knows that you were not born to spend your whole life trying to control every person, every plan, every answer, every future moment. You were born to live. You were born to grow. You were born to receive. And before we go deeper, there is one truth most people forget about control. Control often looks like strength, but many times it is fear asking to be held. My dear, the need to control does not make you wrong. It does not make you weak. It does not mean you are not spiritual. It simply means a part of you has been afraid. A part of you has been trying to keep life from hurting you. A part of you has believed, if I can just manage every detail, I will be safe. So let us begin here with kindness. You were only trying to feel safe. You were only trying to protect your heart. You were only trying to make sure life would not surprise you in a painful way. You were only trying to stay ready. You were only trying to be strong. But now, gently, we must ask, has all this control truly made you feel safe, or has it made you feel more tired? Because control can promise safety, but often it gives us stress. It says, if you think about this enough, you will be ready. It says, if you check one more time, you will feel better. It says, if you can make this person act a certain way, then your heart will calm down. It says, if you know what happens next, then you can finally rest. But the rest never comes. There is always another thing to check, another thing to worry about, another outcome to hold, another person to understand, another future moment to prepare for. And soon the whole inner house becomes locked. Every window closed, every door guarded, every room watched. In your heart, there may be a house with many rooms. One room holds love. One room holds money. One room holds health. One room holds family. One room holds dreams. One room holds the future. And when fear enters, it says, lock every room. Keep everything under control. Do not let anything move unless you approve it first. So you lock the windows, you lock the doors, you stand in the hallway with all the keys in your hands. But after a while, you cannot breathe in that house. No fresh air comes in, no sunlight touches the floor. No new blessing can enter because everything is sealed by fear. This is why trust matters. Trust opens the window. Trust lets the light back in. Trust says, I do not need to lock every room in my life to be safe. Trust says, I can let life move and I can still be held. Trust says, I can breathe even before I know the answer. Pause for 30 seconds. Not to fix anything, not to solve anything, not to plan anything. Just 30 seconds to stop holding life so tightly. Let your belly relax. Let your hands open on your lap. If your fingers feel tight, soften them. If you have been holding your phone, checking, waiting, hoping, wondering, feel how your hands may still carry that tension. Feel the small pressure in the fingers. Feel how much your body has been trying to hold. Unclench. Notice. Enough. For this one moment, nothing needs to be forced. Fear may speak first. Fear often does. Fear may say, if I stop controlling, something bad will happen. And love answers, if you soften, life can finally support you. Fear says, but I need to know. Love says, you need peace more than you need every answer. Fear says, what if I am forgotten? Love says, you are being guided even now. Fear says, what if I lose what I care about? Love says, what is truly meant for you does not need panic to stay. Let those two voices be heard, but do not let fear be the only voice in the room. Fear is loud because it wants attention. Love is quiet because it already knows the truth. And the truth is this: you are not safer when you are tense. You are not more protected when you are exhausted. You are not more loved when you overthink. You are not closer to your miracle when your body is locked in fear. You are safe to soften. You are safe to breathe. You are safe to let life help. This does not mean every moment will happen the way your mind wants. It means you can meet each moment with a deeper calm. It means you can stop believing that your fear is the only thing keeping life together. Maybe control once helped you survive. Maybe it helped you become careful. Maybe it helped you make wise choices in a time when you had no support. Bless that part of you. Thank it. It was trying to protect you. But now you are allowed to grow beyond survival. You are allowed to live from trust. You are allowed to say, I do not need to guard every door anymore. You are allowed to say, life can bring me good in ways I did not plan. You are allowed to say, I can be safe even when I am not in charge of every detail. This is a deep healing, my dear, because the need to control often begins when the heart does not feel held. When we do not feel held, we try to hold everything. When we do not feel guided, we try to guide every step. When we do not feel supported, we try to support the whole world with our own tired hands. But life never asked you to do that. You were never meant to carry every room in the house. You were meant to live in the house. You were meant to open the windows. You were meant to let light touch the places that have been closed for too long. So take a breath and imagine your inner house again. See one window opening, just one. Maybe it is in the room of love. Maybe it is in the room of money. Maybe it is in the room of health. Maybe it is in the room of the future. You do not have to open every window today. Just one. Let air enter. Let light enter. Let life enter. And say softly, I am safe, even when I do not know everything. I am safe, even when life is still unfolding. I am safe to trust. Stay with those words. Do not rush past them. Your body may need time to believe what your soul already knows. Your mind may have repeated fear for many years. So now, with patience, you repeat peace. You do not fight the old thought. You simply give your inner world a new sound. I am safe to trust. Again, I am safe to trust. And again, I am safe to trust. This is how you begin to teach your nervous system that control is not the only path to safety. You teach it through breath, through kind words, through open hands, through small choices. You do not need to prove your trust by releasing everything at once. That can feel too big. Instead, you practice with small moments. You allow someone else to do something their way. You let a message wait before you answer. You stop checking the same thing again and again. You make one loving choice and release the rest. You say, I have done what I can for today. You say, life is allowed to work while I rest. That last line is very important. Life is allowed to work while I rest. So many people believe that if they are not worrying, nothing is happening. But worry is not work. Fear is not power. Panic is not prayer. You can rest and still be guided. You can sleep and still be supported. You can enjoy this moment and still move toward your good. The seed grows in the dark soil without your eyes watching it. The heart beats without your command. The breath comes again and again without your planning. The sun rises without your permission. Life already knows how to move. And the same wisdom that moves the breath, moves the stars, moves the seasons, and moves the quiet healing inside your body is also moving through your life. You are part of that wisdom. You are not outside it. You are not forgotten by it. You are not separate from it. My dear control says, I must hold life together. Trust says, life is holding me too. Feel that? Life is holding me too. Maybe you have been trying to hold a relationship together. Maybe you have been trying to hold a dream together. Maybe you have been trying to hold your family together. Maybe you have been trying to hold your peace together. Maybe you have been trying to hold your image together so no one sees how tired you are. But life is holding you too. You can lean back a little. You can soften a little. You can put down the heavy coat for a little while. And if fear rises again, do not judge it. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a younger part of you asking, are we safe? Answer gently. Yes, we are safe in this breath. Yes, we are safe to take one step. Yes, we are safe to let life help us. Yes, we are safe to receive good without controlling how it comes. This is how you become a safe place for yourself. Not by controlling every outer detail, but by bringing love to every inner fear. You become the calm voice inside. You become the open window. You become the room where peace can return. And when peace returns, you begin to see more clearly. You stop reacting from panic. You stop trying to force people to give you certainty. You stop needing every sign to arrive today. You stop turning small delays into proof that life has forgotten you. You begin to understand that uncertainty is not always danger. Sometimes uncertainty is space. Sometimes uncertainty is life rearranging things. Sometimes uncertainty is the quiet room before the next door opens. Sometimes uncertainty is where the miracle is forming. But control cannot see that. Control only sees the closed door. Trust feels the hand of life on the handle. So today, practice this. When your mind begins to race, place your hand on your heart and say, I do not need to lock very room. I am safe to open one window. One window, one breath, one moment. That is enough for now. The next part is important because control often hides under a very spiritual word. Sometimes control does not call itself control. Sometimes it calls itself planning. Sometimes it calls itself being careful. Sometimes it calls itself being responsible. Sometimes it calls itself helping. Sometimes it calls itself love. And sometimes, my dear, it says, I just want to be prepared. Now, preparation can be beautiful. Clear action is good. Wise choices are good. Paying attention is good. Making a plan can bring peace. But there is a difference between peaceful preparation and fearful control. Peaceful preparation feels steady. Fearful control feels tight. Peaceful preparation gives you space to breathe. Fearful control makes you feel that one wrong move will ruin everything. Peaceful preparation says, I have done what I can. Fearful control says, it is still not enough. This is where you must become honest with yourself, but in a loving way. Not with blame, not with shame, just with awareness. Ask yourself, is this action bringing me peace, or is it feeding my fear? Ask yourself, am I moving from wisdom, or am I trying to escape uncertainty? Ask yourself, do I feel guided, or do I feel pushed by panic? Pause. One breath. Choose. There is a stage inside the mind. On that stage, fear often dresses itself in beautiful clothes. It may wear the costume of, I am just being smart. It may wear the costume of, I am just trying to help. It may wear the costume of, I am just making sure. It may wear the costume of, I care so much. And yes, maybe you do care. Maybe you care deeply. Maybe you want the best outcome. Maybe you want the person you love to be happy. Maybe you want your dream to work. Maybe you want your body to heal. Maybe you want your money to be stable. Maybe you want your life to finally feel calm. That care is not wrong. But behind the curtain, fear may be whispering, can I trust life? Can I trust myself? Can I trust this timing? Can I trust that good can come even if I do not control every detail? This is the hidden question. Can I trust? And if the answer inside feels like not yet, that is okay. We begin there. We do not force trust. We practice it. The old mind says, I must know the whole path before I move. The soul says, one step is enough for now. The old mind says, if I do not plan every possible problem, I will not be safe. The soul says, you can respond to life as it comes. The old mind says, I need certainty before I can rest. The soul says, rest is how you remember your strength. The old mind says, what if I make a mistake? The soul says, you are allowed to learn. This is the gentle difference between control and trust. Control wants to know everything before it begins. Trust begins with the next loving step. One step is enough. One breath is enough. One calm choice is enough. My dear, you do not need to solve your whole life today. You do not need to know how every desire will arrive. You do not need to understand every delay. You do not need to control every person's mood, every future answer, every small sign. You only need to return to yourself again and again. When you feel the small ache between your shoulder blades, notice it. That ache may be the body saying, I have been carrying invisible pressure. You may not even realize how much you are holding until you pause. So pause now. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Let the space between your shoulder blades soften. Let the back of your neck relax. Inhale slowly. Exhale through your mouth. One breath before every reaction. That is your practice. Before you send the message, one breath. Before you check again, one breath. Before you imagine the worst, one breath. Before you try to fix someone else's feeling, one breath. Before you decide that nothing is working, one breath. That one breath is a doorway. It gives your soul a chance to speak before fear takes over. Sometimes control shows up as checking. You check the phone. You check the time. You check the message. You check the account. You check the mirror. You check the same thought again and again inside your mind. Sometimes control shows up as asking again. Are you sure? Is everything okay? What do you mean? When will it happen? Why has it not happened yet? Sometimes control shows up as planning every detail. You try to prepare for 10 futures when only one moment is here. Sometimes control shows up as giving advice no one asked for because silence feels too scary. Sometimes control shows up as trying to heal faster than your heart is ready to heal. Sometimes control shows up as wanting the miracle, but only if it arrives in the exact form your mind has chosen. And none of this makes you bad. It makes you human. It means there is fear asking for love. So instead of saying, "Why am I like this?" say, "What am I afraid would happen if I stopped controlling?" That question will take you deeper. Maybe you are afraid of being left. Maybe you are afraid of being wrong. Maybe you are afraid of being disappointed. Maybe you are afraid that if you stop pushing, nothing good will come. Maybe you are afraid that you are not truly supported. Bring love there, right there. Do not attack the fear. Do not push it away. Sit beside it like you would sit beside a child who is afraid in the dark. You would not yell at that child. You would not say, "Stop being afraid." You would turn on a soft light. You would speak gently. You would say, "I am here, you are not alone." Do that for yourself. I am here. You are not alone. We can take one breath. We can trust one small moment. This is how control begins to loosen, not through force, but through safety. I take calm action. I release anxious forcing. Life meets me with support. Let this affirmation be simple. You do not need to make it fancy. You do not need to say it perfectly. You only need to let it enter. I take calm action. That means you still participate in your life. You still answer the call when it feels right. You still fill out the form. You still make the choice. You still speak the truth. You still care for your body. You still take the next step. I release anxious forcing. That means you stop trying to pull tomorrow into today. You stop demanding that life prove itself every hour. You stop thinking that pressure is the same as progress. Life meets me with support. That means you open to help. You open to timing. You open to guidance. You open to ideas. You open to good that may come in a way you did not expect. So often, the miracle cannot enter because the mind keeps saying, "It must come this way. It must happen through this person. It must arrive by this day. It must look exactly like this." And life, in its wisdom, may be trying to bring something better, but the hands are too full of the old picture to receive the new gift. Preparation makes room for the gift. Control tries to control the gift. Preparation says, "I will make myself ready." Control says, "I will decide how life must bless me." Preparation says, "I will take the next clear step." Control says, "I will panic." until the whole path is shown. Preparation has faith inside it. Control has fear inside it. Feel this deeply. You are allowed to be prepared without being afraid. You are allowed to plan without obsessing. You are allowed to care without carrying everything. You are allowed to love without holding too tightly. You are allowed to desire without forcing. This is a very important healing for the heart, because when you have been disappointed before, control can feel like wisdom. It can feel like you are being smart. It can feel like you are protecting yourself. But sometimes, my dear, you are not protecting yourself from pain. You are protecting yourself from receiving. That may sound strange, but listen softly. If you control everything, life can only give you what your mind already understands. But miracles often come from beyond the mind. They come through unexpected doors. They come through delays that turn into blessings. They come through people you did not plan to meet. They come through ideas that arrive when you finally rest. When you control too tightly, you may block the very path that was trying to open. So ask yourself gently, where am I asking life to bless me, Bo? But also telling life exactly how it must do it. No shame, just notice. Maybe you want love, but you only believe it can come from one person. Maybe you want money, but you only believe it can come from one source. Maybe you want healing, but you only believe it can happen in one way. Maybe you want peace, but you only allow yourself to feel peaceful after everything is solved. This is how control hides. It says, I want good. But then it says, only this way. Trust says, I welcome good in the highest and best way. That does not mean you have no desires. Your desires matter. Your heart matters. But you do not have to trap your good in one form. You can bless your desire and still give life room to surprise you. Say softly, I welcome good in the highest and best way. Again, I welcome good in the highest and best way. One more time, I welcome good in the highest and best way. Let the body feel the freedom in that. You are not closing the door. You are opening more doors. Sometimes the need to control is simply the fear that life will not hear you unless you shout. But life hears your quiet prayers. Life hears your small hopes. Life hears the longing you have not told anyone. Life hears the dream beneath your words. You do not have to shout through panic. You can whisper through trust, and life will still hear you. Before you try to let go, you must understand why your hands became so tight in the first place. They became tight because you cared. They became tight because you were afraid. They became tight because you thought you had to hold the whole world by yourself. But now you know something new. You can care and still soften. You can plan and still breathe. You can prepare and still trust. You can take action and still let your miracles flow easily. So when you feel the old need to control rising again, do not say, I have failed. Say, I have noticed. And noticing is a miracle. Noticing gives you a choice. You can return to the breath. You can return to the body. You can return to the heart. You can return to the truth. One breath before every reaction. One soft pause before every old pattern. One gentle reminder. I am safe to trust life in this moment. Pause. One breath. Choose. My dear, forcing has a feeling. You know it in your body. It feels tight. It feels urgent. It feels like the chest is closing. It feels like the breath is trapped high in the throat. It feels like you must make something happen right now, or everything will be lost. Forcing says, push harder. Forcing says, try again. Forcing says, do not rest. Forcing says, if you stop, the miracle will move away. But the soul knows something deeper. The soul knows that miracles do not need fear to find you. The soul knows that blessings do not need panic to arrive. The soul knows that what is truly meant for you is not made stronger by your suffering. Control says, push harder. Blessing says, open wider. Control says, grip the outcome. Blessing says, make room. Control says, do not let life move without your permission. Blessing says, life is wiser than your fear. This is where everything begins to change. Because when you force, your energy becomes tight. And when your energy is tight, receiving becomes harder. Not because life is punishing you, not because the universe is angry with you, but because a clenched heart cannot receive easily. Try to hold something with a closed fist. Nothing new can be placed there. The hand is already full of tension. Now open the hand, softly, slowly. Nothing dramatic, just open. This is the movement of receiving. Let your palms turn upward now if you can. Let your wrists soften. Let your fingers rest open. You do not have to imagine anything grand. Just feel the difference between gripping and opening. Gripping says, I am afraid. Opening says, I am willing. Gripping says, I must control the way. Opening says, I can receive in ways I do not yet see. Gripping says, I do not trust. Opening says, I am learning to trust, and learning is enough. You do not need perfect trust. You only need willingness. Try 3 soft yeses. Yes to this moment. Yes to support. Yes to receiving. Say them quietly. Yes to this moment. Yes to support. Yes to receiving. Feel how simple that is. You are not saying yes to pain. You are not saying yes to being treated badly. You are not saying yes to staying stuck. You are saying yes to life helping you now. You are saying yes to the good that may be moving behind the scenes. You are saying yes to peace before proof. That is powerful. When you force, your body tightens. When you force, your breath becomes small. When you force, your heart forgets it is supported. When you force, your mind starts looking for danger. When you force, you cannot hear the soft voice of guidance. When you force, you may miss the quiet door that is opening beside you. This is why forcing blocks the miracle. It keeps your focus on fear. It makes you stare at the closed door so long that you do not see the window opening. It makes you demand one path when life may be preparing another. Think of yourself as a magnet. Your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your body all send out a message. When you are in panic, you send out the message, I am not safe. Nothing is working. I must chase. I must force. I must make it happen. And then life often reflects more situations that feel tense, rushed, and unclear. But when you soften, your message changes. You begin to say, I am open. I am willing. I am safe to receive. I trust the good that is meant for me. That calm energy becomes magnetic, not loud, not desperate, magnetic. You do not need to chase the blessing with fear. You can align with it through peace. Alignment simply means that your inner world begins to match what you are asking for. If you are asking for peace, begin to practice peace now. If you are asking for love, speak to yourself with love now. If you are asking for abundance, open to small signs of good now. If you are asking for healing, treat your body with kindness now. You do not wait for the miracle to become calm. You become calm, and the miracle finds a place to land. This is not about pretending. It is not about saying everything is perfect when your heart is hurting. It is not about denying your feelings. It is about choosing not to let fear be the only energy you offer life. You can say, I am scared and I am willing to trust. You can say, I do not know and I am willing to receive guidance. You can say, I feel tired and I am willing to soften. You can say, I have been forcing and now I choose to open. That honesty is beautiful. That honesty is healing. That honesty creates space, and space is where miracles flow. Maybe you have had moments when you were trying so hard that you forgot to care for yourself. Maybe your tea became cold beside you because your mind was too busy. Maybe your body asked for rest, but you kept checking, thinking, planning. Maybe there was warmth in the cup, comfort in the room, breath in your chest, but fear pulled your attention away from all of it. Come back. Come back to the warmth. Come back to the breath. Come back to now. The miracle is not only the big thing you are waiting for. The miracle is also your return to peace. The miracle is the moment your body softens after being tight for so long. The miracle is the moment you realize, I do not want to live in fear anymore. The miracle is the moment you choose a new thought. Right now, a new thought is available. I stop forcing now. I open to the good that is already moving toward me. I let my miracles flow easily. Let that be enough. Do not push the affirmation. Do not try to make yourself feel something strong. Just let the words be placed gently into the soil of your mind. I stop forcing now. This does not mean you stop taking action. It means you stop attacking life with your fear. I open to the good that is already moving toward me. This means you are willing to believe that good can exist even before you see it. I let my miracles flow easily. This means you do not need to make receiving hard. So many people believe good things must be difficult. They believe if it comes easily, it cannot be real. They believe if they did not suffer for it, they do not deserve it. They believe if they are not exhausted, they are not doing enough. But ease is not wrong. Ease is not lazy. Ease is not weakness. Ease can be divine order. Ease can be alignment. Ease can be what happens when you stop blocking the help that life has been trying to give. Yes, there will be times when effort is needed. There will be times when discipline is needed. There will be times when you must show up, speak clearly, make a choice, or take a brave step. But effort does not have to be filled with fear. Action does not have to be tense. Growth does not have to feel like punishment. You can move with life. You can work with life. You can let life work with you. That is the difference. Forcing is when you believe you are alone. Flow is when you remember life is with you. Forcing is when you try to drag the river. Flow is when you step into the current and move with wisdom. Forcing is when you think the miracle depends only on your control. Flow is when you understand that your part matters and life's part matters too. You have a part. Life has a part. Do not confuse the two. Your part is to choose love where you can. Your part is to speak kindly to yourself. Your part is to take the next clear step. Your part is to become available for good. Your part is to notice when fear is driving and gently return to trust. Life's part is timing. Life's part is unseen movement. Life's part is bringing people, doors, ideas, and answers together in ways your mind cannot fully manage. When you try to do life's part, you become exhausted. When you refuse your own part, you become stuck. But when you honor both, you become peaceful. You say, I will do what is mine to do, and I will let life do what only life can do. This is surrender. Simple, clear, powerful. My dear, forcing often comes from the fear that if you let go, the miracle will disappear. But what if the opposite is true? What if your forcing is the very thing making it hard to receive? What if your miracle is not asking you to chase it, but to become still enough to notice it? What if the door is already near, but your panic keeps pulling you away from it? Open. Receive. Soft. Let those words slow you down. Open, receive, soft, again. Open, receive, soft. You may feel resistance. That is okay. Resistance is just the old pattern trying to stay alive. It may say, "This is too simple." It may say, "I have to do more." It may say, "If I relax, I will lose control." Thank it for trying to protect you. Then choose again. You can say, "I hear you, fear, but today I am practicing trust." You can say, "I hear you, fear, but today I am opening my hands." You can say, "I hear you, fear, but today I am allowing life to help me." This is not a fight. This is a loving redirection. Like turning your face toward the sun after looking at the ground for a long time. You do not need to force the sun to shine. You only need to turn toward it. In the same way, you do not need to force life to be G-ode. You need to become willing to notice the good, receive the good, and stop pushing it away through fear. Sometimes the good arrives as an answer. Sometimes the good arrives as a delay that protects you. Sometimes the good arrives as a closed door that saves your energy. Sometimes the good arrives as a new idea. Sometimes the good arrives as the strength to wait. Sometimes the good arrives as peace before the outer world changes. Do not decide too quickly what a miracle must look like. A miracle may begin as a calm feeling in your chest. A miracle may begin as a deep breath after many days of worry. A miracle may begin as the moment you do not send the fearful message. A miracle may begin as the choice to sleep instead of overthink. A miracle may begin as the quiet knowing that you are going to be okay. That is still a miracle. Honor it, welcome it, let it grow. The more you welcome small miracles, the more your energy learns how to receive. You stop living as if good is rare. You begin to live as if good is natural. You begin to see that support has many forms. You begin to notice that life has been speaking softly all along. And then something beautiful happens. You stop demanding that miracles come through fear. You allow them to come through peace. You stop gripping the blessing. You let the blessing breathe. You stop asking, "How can I force this?" You begin asking, "How can I become open to the highest good?" That question changes your whole energy. How can I become open to the highest good? Maybe the answer is rest. Maybe the answer is forgiveness. Maybe the answer is patience. Maybe the answer is one clear action. Maybe the answer is saying no. Maybe the answer is saying yes. Maybe the answer is waiting without turning, wading into suffering. Maybe the answer is trusting that you are not behind. The miracle knows how to move. Your job is not to choke it with fear. Your job is to make space, to breathe, to open, to receive. And now we come to the part that changes everything. Letting go does not mean doing nothing. And now we come to the part that changes everything. Letting go does not mean doing nothing. My dear, this is where many hearts become afraid. They hear the words, "let go," and they think it means losing hope. They think it means walking away from their dream. They think it means becoming passive, silent, or weak. They think it means life will pass them by while they sit with open hands and empty eyes. But that is not what letting go means. Letting go means you stop fighting the part of life that was never yours to control. It means you do your part with love, and then you release the rest. It means you stop pulling at the flower to make it bloom faster. It means you stop digging up the seed every hour to see if it is growing. It means you trust that quiet things are still alive. Breathe. Trust. Growing. There is a very gentle wisdom in this. Think of a garden. When you plant a seed, you do not scream at the soil. You do not open the earth again and again, saying, "Are you ready yet? Why are you taking so long? Did you hear me? Are you becoming what I asked for?" No, my dear. You plant the seed, you give it water, you give it light, you remove what blocks its growth, and then you allow. You understand that there is a hidden process happening under the surface. You cannot see the first root forming. You cannot see the soft push of life inside the dark soil. You cannot see the seed opening in silence, but something is happening. Life is moving. Life is working. Life is becoming. Your dreams are often like that seed. Your healing is like that seed. Your miracle is like that seed. Your peace is like that seed. Your next chapter may already be forming in a place you cannot see yet, but control becomes afraid of the dark soil. Control says, "If I cannot see it, it must not be happening." Trust says, "Many beautiful things begin where I cannot see." Control says, "I must keep checking." Trust says, "I can water this with love and let life do its part." Control says, "If I stop worrying, I am not doing enough." Trust says, "Worry is not the same as care." This is so important. Worry is not the same as care. You can care deeply without worrying constantly. You can love someone without trying to control their every choice. You can want your dream with your whole heart without squeezing it with fear. You can take action without turning your life into pressure. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what does not belong to you. It means you stop trying to be the soil, the rain, the sun, the roots, and the flower all at once. You are not meant to be everything. You are meant to be faithful to your part. So ask yourself gently, what is mine to do today? Not tomorrow, not next year, not the whole plan. Today. What is one clear, loving step? Maybe your step is to make the call. Maybe your step is to rest. Maybe your step is to apologize. Maybe your step is to stop answering from fear. Maybe your step is to write the idea down. Maybe Your step is to drink water and care for your body. Maybe your step is to say no. Maybe your step is to say yes. Maybe your step is to wait without poisoning the waiting with panic. Each day has a step, not always a giant step, not always an exciting step. Sometimes one quiet step is the miracle. Place both feet on the floor for a moment. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel how it holds you without asking you to explain yourself. Feel how the body can be here, even if the mind wants to run ahead. Let your feet remind you you are here now. Here, not in every future fear, not in every possible problem. Here. Give one, dream 3 minutes of peaceful trust today. Only 3 minutes. Choose one thing you have been trying to force. A desire, a relationship, a prayer, a plan, a healing, a door, a sign. Hold it gently in your heart, and for 3 minutes, do not pull on it, do not fix it, do not ask when, do not demand how. Simply say, I bless this. I trust life with this. I allow the right way to open. That may sound small, but it is powerful. Because for 3 minutes, you are training your energy to stop fighting. For 3 minutes, your body learns that it can desire without panic. For 3 minutes, your heart learns that love does not need to grip. For 3 minutes, you place your seed in the soil and stop digging it up. You plant with love. You water with faith. You wait with peace. You listen with trust. You move when guided. You rest when needed. You receive when life opens the door. That is not giving up. That is sacred cooperation. Letting go is not the death of your dream. It is the release of the fear around your dream. It is saying, I still love this. I still welcome this. But I will no longer harm myself by trying to force it. There is such relief in that. The body understands relief before the mind does. The shoulders drop. The breath deepens, the forehead softens, the hands open. The stomach stops tightening so much. The heart begins to feel that maybe it does not have to fight for every blessing. You do not have to fight life to be loved by life. You do not have to fight life to be supported by life. You do not have to fight life to receive what is truly aligned with you. Let the ground hold your feet as you say, I do my part with love. I release the rest with trust. What is meant for me grows in perfect time. Again, softly, I do my part with love. I release the rest with trust. What is meant for me grows in perfect time. Let those words enter slowly. You do your part with love. This means you show up. You do not abandon yourself. You do not ignore the inner nudge. You do not pretend nothing matters. You choose the next honest step. You release the rest with trust. This means you stop trying to control another person's response. You stop trying to control the exact date. You stop trying to control the exact form. You stop trying to control the way every little detail must unfold. What is meant for you grows in perfect time. This means the seed has its own wisdom. The timing has its own order. The unseen has its own movement. And yes, sometimes the waiting is hard. Let us be honest about that. Sometimes it is hard to wait for healing. Sometimes it is hard to wait for love. Sometimes it is hard to wait for money to improve. Sometimes it is hard to wait for clarity. Sometimes it is hard to wait when the heart feels ready, but the outer world has now not changed. But waiting with fear and waiting with trust are two very different experiences. Waiting with fear feels like punishment. Waiting with trust feels like preparation. Waiting with fear says, nothing is happening. Waiting with trust says, something may be forming. Waiting with fear says, I have been forgotten. Waiting with trust says, life knows where I am. Waiting with fear says, I must force the door. Waiting with trust says, the right door can open at the right time. This does not mean you never feel impatient. You are human. Of course you may feel impatient, but you do not have to build a home inside impatience. You can visit it, notice it, breathe through it, and return to peace. You can say, I feel impatient, and I choose trust anyway. You can say, I want this deeply, and I release the need to force it. You can say, I am ready, and I allow life to prepare the right way. You can say, I can desire this without losing myself. That is freedom. So much suffering comes from confusing desire with desperation. Desire is clean. Desire is life moving through the heart. Desire can be beautiful. Desire can guide you. Desire can show you what wants to grow. Desperation is different. Desperation says, I must have this now, or I am not okay. Desperation places your peace outside of you. Desperation makes the miracle feel like your only source of safety. But your safety begins within. Your worth begins within. Your connection to life begins within. When you remember that, your desire becomes softer. It becomes open. It becomes a prayer instead of a demand. It becomes a seed instead of a fist. You can say, I welcome this, or something better. You can say, I allow my highest good. You can say, I trust that life sees more than I can see. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. Wait. Trust. Growing. The garden does not panic in the dark. The seed does not think it has been forgotten because it has not yet become a flower. The soil does not need applause for its hidden work. The roots do not need to be seen to be real. And you, my dear, do not need constant outer proof to know that life is moving. There may be roots growing in your life right now. Roots of healing, roots of strength, roots of peace, roots of love, roots of abundance, roots of a new beginning. You may not see them yet, but that does not mean they are not there. Sometimes when nothing seems to be happening, the deepest work is happening. Sometimes when the outside looks still, the inside is becoming ready. Sometimes when the door has not opened, your heart is learning how to walk through it with more peace when it does. Letting go gives that process room. Forcing interrupts it. Imagine again that seed in the soil. If you keep digging it up, it cannot root. If you keep moving it from place to place, it cannot settle. If you keep shouting at it, you do not help it grow. You only disturb the process. Now bring that to your own life. Where are you disturbing your own peace by checking too much? Where are you pulling at something that needs time? Where are you calling fear care? Where are you trying to speed up what needs to ripen? No shame, only awareness. Awareness is kind when you let it be kind. You are not here to attack yourself. You are here to learn a softer way. The softer way says, I can take action and still trust. The softer way says, I can wait and still be powerful. The softer way says, I can let go and still love deeply. The softer way says, I can release control and still receive miracles. And perhaps this is the most beautiful truth. When you let go, you do not lose connection. You deepen it. You stop trying to control life from the mind, and you begin to listen to life from the heart. The mind wants a full map. The heart listens for the next step. The mind wants proof. The heart feels guidance. The mind wants control. The heart wants trust. And the soul, the deep, wise part of you, knows that the path is not built through fear. It is revealed through willingness. So today, be willing. Be willing to put down one heavy thought. Be willing to stop checking one thing again and again. Be willing to bless one dream and give it room. Be willing to let life surprise you. Be willing to trust that what is growing does not need your fear to grow faster. Say quietly, I am willing to let this grow in peace. Again, I am willing to let this grow in peace. One more time. I am willing to let this grow in peace. This is enough for today. Not because there is nothing else to do, but because peace must become part of what you do. Let your action come from peace. Let your waiting come from peace. Let your words come from peace. Let your decisions come from peace. When action comes from fear, it often creates more fear. When action comes from peace, it creates space for miracles. So do not give up. Let go. Do not abandon your dream. Release the pressure around it. Do not stop moving. Stop forcing. Do not close your heart. Open it wider. And the next lesson is the one most people skip because it asks you to stop arguing with timing. My dear, if you have been waiting for something, let these words touch the tired place in you. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not being punished because life has not moved as fast as your mind wanted. Breathe into that. Not late, held, still unfolding. There are moments when waiting can feel heavy. You look around and think other people are moving ahead. You wonder why your answer has not come. You wonder why the door has not opened. You wonder why the healing is slow, why the love is not here, why the money has not changed, why the peace still feels far away. And then the mind begins to tell stories. Maybe I missed my chance. Maybe it is not meant for me. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe life hears everyone else, but not me. Pause, my dear. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe into the chest. Feel the air entering your body. You do not need to solve the timing right now. You only need to stop turning delay into rejection. Because divine timing is not rejection. Divine timing is not punishment. Divine timing is not life saying, you are not worthy. Sometimes divine timing is life saying, I am arranging more than you can see. Maybe it is not late. Maybe it is still forming. Maybe it is becoming better than you imagined. Maybe the person, the place, the chance, the idea, the answer, the healing, and the open door are being prepared in ways you cannot yet understand. Maybe life is not holding your good away from you. Maybe life is preparing you to hold it with peace. This is a tender truth. We do not always receive what we want the moment we want it, because timing is not only about the thing arriving. Timing is also about who we are becoming when it arrives. If a blessing comes before the heart is ready, the heart may not know how to receive it. If a door opens before the inner strength is there, it may feel too big. If a relationship appears before self-worth has grown, old fear may push it away. If abundance comes before the mind has learned peace, it may create more worry instead of freedom. So sometimes life is not saying no. Sometimes life is saying, grow here first. Sometimes life is saying, rest here first. Sometimes life is saying, learn your worth here first. Sometimes life is saying, let me prepare the whole path, not just the part you can see. Think of divine timing like a bridge. You may be standing on one side, looking across, wanting to arrive now. Your heart can see the other side. Your dream is there. Your healing is there. Your new chapter is there. And because you can feel it, you think you should already be there. But life may still be placing the stones of the bridge. One stone of patience, one stone of self-love, one stone of courage, one stone of clear action, one stone of release, one stone of trust. If you rush before the bridge is ready, you may feel afraid. But if you let life build step by step, you can cross with peace. One step, then another, then another. The full bridge does not need to be visible before you begin. You only need the next step. Impatience says, why not now? Wisdom says, because life is preparing something deeper. Impatience says, I cannot wait anymore. Wisdom says, you can breathe in this moment. Impatience says, nothing is happening. Wisdom says, much is happening beyond what you can see. Impatience says, I am behind. Wisdom says, you are on your path. Let wisdom speak louder. It may not shout, it may not rush, but it will tell the truth. You are on your path. You are on your path even when it is quiet. You are on your path even when the door is not open yet. You are on your path even when the answer takes longer than you hoped. You are on your path even when life seems still. Stillness is not failure. Stillness can be preparation. Stillness can be protection. Stillness can be the pause before the new thing begins. Think of the dim screen light on your face when you are waiting for a message, a result, a sign, or an answer. Think of how your eyes may feel tired from checking. Think of how the heart rises and falls with every sound, every silence, every small sign that something might be happening. That waiting can become a kind of suffering if you give your peace away to it. So try this practice. Wait 90 seconds before declaring that nothing is happening. Only 90 seconds. When fear says it is not working, wait. When the mind says they forgot you, wait. When your body says check again, wait. Give yourself 90 seconds to breathe before you believe the worst story. In those 90 seconds, place your hand on your heart and say, I am not late. I am not forgotten. Life is arranging good for me now. Let the words be slow. I am not late. Feel the pressure soften. I am not forgotten. Feel the heart hear you. Life is arranging good for me now. Feel the possibility open. You may not see the arrangement, but life can arrange things without your eyes on them. You do not see roots growing under the ground. You do not see the heart healing while you sleep. You do not see every person being moved, every idea being formed, every path being shaped. But not seeing does not mean nothing is happening. This is where trust becomes real. It is easy to trust when the door is open. It is easy to trust when the answer is clear. It is easy to trust when the message comes, the money arrives, the body feels better, the person understands, the path lights up. But deep trust is built in the space before proof. That is where the soul grows. That is where the body learns to stay calm. That is where the heart learns that peace does not need to wait for perfect conditions. You can have peace now, not because everything is finished, but because life is with you while it unfolds. The need to control timing is one of the heaviest burdens we carry. We want life to move by our clock. We want healing by our date. We want answers by our deadline. We want love when we feel ready. We want the miracle before the doubt rises again. But life does not move by panic. Life moves by order, a deeper order, a loving order. an order the mind may not understand right away. Have you ever looked back at something that once felt late and realized it arrived at the right time? Have you ever wanted something so badly only to see later that you were being protected? Have you ever been upset by a delay and later understood that the delay saved you, shaped you, or guided you towards something better? The mind sees one moment. Life sees the whole path. The mind sees the closed door. Life sees the bridge being built. The mind sees silence. Life hears movement. This does not mean you will always enjoy waiting. It means you can stop attacking yourself while you wait. You can stop telling yourself that waiting means you are unworthy. You can stop making the quiet season mean that nothing good is coming. Quiet does not mean empty. Quiet can be holy. Quiet can be fertile. Quiet can be the place where your miracle is gathering strength. Say it softly. Something good can be forming even now. Again. Something good can be forming even now. One more time. Something good can be forming even now. Let this become a new belief in your body. When life feels slow, say, something good can be forming. When the answer is not here yet, say, something good can be forming. When you feel afraid that you are behind, say, something good can be forming. Because this keeps your heart open, and an open heart can receive. A closed heart only repeats fear. Divine timing asks you to stop measuring your life against someone else's path. My dear, your path is your path. Your healing is your healing. Your miracle is your miracle. Your season is your season. Some flowers bloom early, some flowers bloom late. Some flowers bloom after a long winter. No flower is wrong. No flower is behind. No flower has failed because it opened in its own time. And you are not failing because your life has its own timing. You may be in a season of roots. You may be in a season of clearing. You may be in a season of learning to love yourself. You may be in a season of becoming stable enough to receive more. You may be in a season where life is removing what cannot come with you into the next chapter. That removal may feel like loss at first. But sometimes what leaves creates space for what can bless you. Sometimes what does not happen protects you. Sometimes what slows down saves your energy. Sometimes what changes direction brings you home. So instead of saying, "Why is this taking so long?" try asking, "What is life teaching me while I wait?" Maybe life is teaching you patience. Maybe life is teaching you self-worth. Maybe life is teaching you to stop chasing. Maybe life is teaching you to listen to your body. Maybe life is teaching you that your peace cannot depend on one outcome. Maybe life is teaching you that you are loved even before the miracle arrives. This question changes the waiting. It turns waiting into growth. It turns silence into listening. It turns delay into preparation. And when the miracle comes, you meet it differently. You do not grab it with fear. You do not say, "Finally, now I can breathe." You say, "Thank you. I was learning how to breathe before you arrived." That is power. That is peace. That is freedom. Stay with this, because the next part will help you stop chasing what is already looking for you. My dear, chasing is exhausting. It pulls you out of your body. It makes your breath quick. It makes your thoughts loud. It makes your heart feel that if you stop running, the blessing will disappear. But what is truly meant for you does not require you to abandon yourself. It does not require you to shrink. It does not require you to beg. It does not require you to prove your worth again and again. It can meet you in peace. Breathe. Enough. Worthy. Open. There is a great difference between moving towards something with love and chasing something from fear. Moving with love feels clear. Chasing with fear feels desperate. Moving with love says, "This matters to me, and I will take a true step." Chasing with fear says, "If I do not get this, I am nothing." Moving with love keeps you connected to yourself. Chasing with fear makes you leave yourself behind. And my dear, no miracle is worth losing yourself for. No relationship is worth losing yourself for. No dream is worth losing yourself for. No door is worth losing yourself for. No answer is worth losing yourself for. The good that belongs to your highest life will not ask you to become smaller than your soul. This does not mean you never pursue something. It does not mean you sit still and expect the world to do everything for you. It means you do not chase from emptiness. You do not run after people, chances, or signs as if your worth is hidden inside them. Your worth is already here. Before the answer, before the message, before the money, before the healing, before the open door, before the outer proof. You are worthy now. You do not need to chase love. You do not need to chase peace. You do not need to chase what already knows your name. You do not need to chase your own good as if it is running away from you. You do not need to chase life to be blessed by life. Let those words slow the heart. Sometimes we chase because we do not believe we can receive. We believe we must work for every drop of kindness. We believe love must be earned by overgiving. We believe money must come only through struggle. We believe peace must wait until everything is fixed. We believe a miracle must be pulled from life with force. But receiving begins when you remember your worth. Receiving says, "I can take a step without losing myself." Receiving says, "I can desire without desperation." Receiving says, "I can open the door without standing guard all night." Receiving says, "I can let what is mine meet me." Think of a doorway. The blessing may be near, but sometimes we stand pressed against the door, trying to keep danger out. We do not realize that we are also keeping good out. We say, "I want love," but we do not open the door. We say, "I want abundance," but we do not feel safe receiving. We say, "I want help," but we believe we must do everything alone. So life knocks softly again and again, and we, with our back against the door, wonder why nothing enters. Open. Not all at once, just a little. Open your hands, soften your wrists. Let the air above your collarbones feel free. Notice the breath moving there. Notice if it has been tight. Notice if the body has been waiting for permission to relax. Take 2 minutes to practice open hand receiving. For 2 minutes, place your hands open on your lap. Let the palms face upward. Let the fingers relax. Breathe slowly. Imagine you are not grabbing anything. You are not pushing anything away. You are simply available. Available for peace. Available for guidance. Available for love. Available for support. Available for miracles. Lack says, "Run after it or you will lose it." Abundance says, "Stand in worth and let it meet you." Lack says, "There is not enough." Abundance says, "Life has many ways." Lack says, "You must prove you deserve this." Abundance says, "You are already worthy of good." Lack says, "Hold tighter." Abundance says, "Open wider." Let abundance speak now. You are already worthy of good. Not later, not after you fix everything, not after you become perfect, not after everyone approves of you. Now, you are ready to receive in a new way. And if this is speaking to your heart, you may write, "I am ready to receive," so your own words can become a doorway for your miracle. I am ready to receive. I am worthy of calm blessings. What is mine can find me easily. Let this be more than a sentence. Let it become a new posture inside you, a posture of worth, a posture of openness, a posture of calm receiving. There is no need to chase what can arrive through alignment. There is no need to beg for what life is happy to give. There is no need to hold your breath until the blessing comes. The breath itself is already a blessing. The support under your body is already a blessing. This moment of awareness is already a blessing. And when you begin to notice what is already here, you become less desperate for what is not here yet. That does not mean you stop wanting. It means your wanting becomes peaceful. It becomes clean. It becomes rooted in trust instead of lack. You can want love and still love yourself now. You can want money and still bless what you have now. You can want healing and still speak kindly to your body now. You can want change and still stop making this moment your enemy. That is how chasing softens into receiving. So many people run after life because they believe Illness means loss, but stillness can be magnetic. Calm can call good things closer. Self-worth can open doors that fear keeps shut. When you stop chasing, you begin to notice. You notice who comes toward you with peace. You notice which doors open without breaking you. You notice which opportunities feel calm in your body. You notice which answers bring expansion instead of panic. You notice where life is saying yes. Chasing makes you blind to these signs because you are too busy running after one thing. But receiving allows you to see the wider field of good. Maybe the blessing is not behind the person who keeps pulling away. Maybe the door is not the one you keep trying to force. Maybe the answer is not in the place where you keep losing your peace. Maybe life is trying to guide you somewhere gentler. Can you allow that? Can you trust that your good may come without pain? Can you believe that ease is allowed? Can you let life bless you in a way that does not require begging? Open your hands again. Feel the palms. Feel the space. Feel the breath. Say quietly, I do not chase what costs me my peace. Again, I do not chase what costs me my peace. One more time. I do not chase what costs me my peace. This is not rejection. This is self-respect. This is not closing your heart. This is protecting your energy. This is not giving up on love, success, healing, or miracles. This is refusing to lose yourself while you wait for them. My dear, when something is meant for you, it will not require you to become a stranger to yourself. It may ask you to grow. It may ask you to be brave. It may ask you to speak honestly. It may ask you to step forward, but it will not ask you to live in constant fear. What is aligned with your soul brings you back to yourself. It may challenge you, yes, but it will not destroy your peace every day. It will not make you beg for your worth. It will not require you to abandon your own heart. This is how you know the difference between desire and attachment. Desire says, I would love this. Attachment says, I cannot be okay without this. Desire says, I welcome this with an open heart. Attachment says, I must control this or I will fall apart. Desire feels spacious. Attachment feels tight. Desire allows life to bring this or something better. Attachment argues with every path except one. So when you feel yourself chasing, pause and ask, am I moving from desire or attachment? If it is desire, take the next loving step. If it is attachment, breathe and return to yourself first. Return to your body. Return to your worth. Return to your open hands. Return to the truth. You are not empty without this thing. You are whole now. You are worthy now. You are loved now. You are guided now. And from that place, your energy changes. You no longer reach from need. You receive from fullness. You no longer beg life to prove your value. You stand in your value and let life meet you there. This is the deep shift. When you chase, you tell life, I do not believe it can come unless I run. When you receive, you tell life, I trust that my good knows how to find me. When you chase, you make one person, one door, one outcome your only source. When you receive, you remember that life has endless ways to bless you. When you chase, your heart becomes tired. When you receive, your heart becomes available, and availability is powerful. You become available to guidance, available to better timing, available to clearer choices, available to unexpected help, available to joy in the present moment, available to the miracle that looks different from what your fear planned, but better than what your soul hoped. Say softly, I am available for my highest good. Again, I am available for my highest good. Let this reach the part of you that thought you had to run. You do not have to run today. You can walk. You can breathe. You can open. You can allow. And when action is needed, you will know. It will not feel like panic. It will feel like a clear step. Even if the step is brave, there will be a deeper steadiness under it. That steadiness is guidance. Guidance does not always mean the absence of fear. Sometimes you feel a little afraid because the step is new. But guidance carries a quiet rightness. Panic feels scattered. Guidance feels centered. Panic says, do this now or you will lose everything. Guidance says, this is the next true step. Learn the difference. Your body can help you. Your breath can help you. Your peace can help you. The more you stop chasing, the more you hear the quiet voice within. And that quiet voice may say, wait. It may say, move. It may say, speak. It may say, rest. It may say, release. It may say, receive. Listen, not with fear, with love. Because the miracle is not always found by running faster. Sometimes it is found by standing still long enough to see the door beside you. Sometimes it is found by releasing the one path you demanded, so life can show you a kinder one. Sometimes it is found by choosing yourself, and in that choice, becoming open to what is truly yours. You do not need to chase what already knows your name. You do not need to hold what wants to stay. You do not need to beg for what life can give freely. You do not need to prove that you deserve your miracle. You only need to become willing to receive it. My dear, this is the soft power of surrender. It does not make you small. It returns you to yourself. It says, I will no longer run from my own worth. It says, I will no longer treat love, money, healing, or peace as things I must beg for. It says, I will stand in the truth that I am supported by life. And from that truth, miracles can move. Not always. Not is in the way you planned. Not always on the day you chose. Not always through the person you expected. But in the way that matches your highest good. So let the chase end here, even if only for this moment. Let the breath return. Let the hands open. Let the heart remember. What is yours in truth can find you in peace. And now, my dear, we must talk about the one thing that makes receiving feel unsafe. And now, my dear, we must talk about the one thing that makes receiving feel unsafe. It is the old belief that you must earn every good thing through struggle. This belief can sit deep in the heart. It can be so quiet that you do not even notice it. It may sound like, I have to work harder before I deserve peace. It may sound like, I have to fix myself before I can be loved. It may sound like, I have to suffer first before something good can come. It may sound like, if it comes easily, I should not trust it. But today, we are going to bring love to that belief. Not fight it, not shame it, not push it away. Just bring love to it, because many of us were taught that good things must be hard. We were taught that love must be earned. We were taught that rest must be deserved. We were taught that money only comes through stress. We were taught that healing must be painful. We were taught that if life feels easy, something must be wrong. So when a blessing comes close, the heart may not know how to receive it. It may say, "This cannot be for me." It may say, "I have not done enough." It may say, "I am not ready." It may say, "I must prove myself first." And then, without knowing it, you may push away the good you have prayed for. Not because you do not want it, but because some part of you does not yet feel safe to receive it. Breathe. Now, clean slate, begin. Think of your mind like a blackboard. Over the years, many words may have been written there. Some were written by family, some were written by pain, some were written by old fear, some were written by moments when you felt unwanted, unseen, or not enough. Maybe the blackboard says, "I must do more." Maybe it says, "I am too late." Maybe it says, "Good things do not happen to me." Maybe it says, "I have to struggle to survive." Maybe it says, "I am not worthy unless I am useful." Maybe it says, "I cannot rest until everything is perfect." But my dear, what has been written can be erased. Not all at once, maybe, not with anger, but with love, with patience, with new words, with daily kindness. The old chalk marks may have been there for a long time, but they are not the truth of who you are. They are only learned thoughts, and learned thoughts can be softened. Learned thoughts can be questioned. Learned thoughts can be replaced with love. Shame says, "You have not done enough." Grace says, "You are enough now." Shame says, "You must become better before you receive." Grace says, "You can receive while you are still growing." Shame says, "You must earn every blessing through pain." Grace says, "Life can bless you through love." Shame says, "You are behind." Grace says, "You are here, and here is holy." Let grace speak now. Let it be soft. Let it be near. Let it be simple enough for the body to understand. You are allowed to receive before everything is perfect. You are allowed to be loved before you fix yourself. You are allowed to be blessed while you are still healing. You are allowed to rest before every problem is solved. You are allowed to have good come to you in gentle ways. You are allowed to stop making life so hard. Read those words again in your heart, slowly. You are allowed. That may be the medicine today. You are allowed. The old belief says, I must earn peace, but peace is not a prize. Peace is your natural state returning. The old belief says, I must earn love, but love is not something you win by becoming smaller. Love is something you open to by remembering your worth. The old belief says, I must earn miracles. But miracles are not only for people who have never made mistakes. Miracles are natural signs of life moving with love. They are moments when grace touches the ordinary and makes it new. You do not need to be perfect to be blessed. You do not need to be finished to be supported. You do not need to have every answer before life can help you. This is where control begins to melt. Because so much control comes from the fear that if you do not prove, push, manage, and hold everything together, life will not give you anything good. But life is not a cold judge. Life is not standing far away, waiting for you to suffer enough. Life is not saying, become perfect, then I will love you. Life is always inviting you back into love now, right now, in this breath, with this body, with this heart, with this life. Touch your heart gently and say, I do not need to suffer to receive good. I do not need to be perfect to be blessed. I am worthy now. Let those words meet the old places. Maybe a part of you says, but I do not feel worthy. That is okay. You do not have to feel it fully at first. Sometimes you speak the new truth before the old feeling changes. Sometimes you plant the new seed before the garden looks different. This is how healing begins. You do not wait until you believe it perfectly. You begin. Write 3 lines of new truth today. Only 3 lines. Not a full page, not a perfect prayer, not a long speech, just 3 honest lines. You might write, I am learning to receive. You might write, I am safe to let life be kind to me. You might write, good can come without struggle. You might write, I am worthy of support. You might write, I release the need to earn love through pain. Feel the soft sound of the pen moving across paper. Feel how simple it is. The page does not judge you. The page does not rush you. The page simply receives what you place there. Let the paper become a gentle witness. Let your own words become a new beginning. Every time you write a loving truth, you are cleaning the blackboard of the mind. Every time you speak kindly to yourself, you are erasing one old mark. Every time you choose rest without guilt, you are telling your body, we do not have to suffer to be safe. This is deep work, quiet work, holy work, and it changes your life from the inside. You may have spent years trying to be enough for other people, enough to be chosen, enough to be heard, enough to be respected, enough to be loved, enough to be safe. And maybe after all that trying, you still felt tired, because worth cannot be built only from outside approval. Worth must be remembered within. You are not worthy because someone chose you. You are not worthy because the money arrived. You are not worthy because the body looks a certain way. You are not worthy because everything went right. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because life is moving through you. You are worthy because love is your truth. This does not need to be complicated. The flower does not prove it deserves the sun. The bird does not prove it deserves the sky. The river does not prove it deserves to flow. Life gives because giving is its nature, and you are part of life. So why would you be outside its goodness? Why would love be for everyone else and not for you? Why would miracles be allowed for others and denied to your heart? No, my dear, you are included. You are included in love. You are included in support. You are included in healing. You are included in abundance. You are included in the flow of miracles. The old belief may say, "Not me," but your soul says, "Yes, me too." Say that softly. Yes, me too. Again. Yes, me too. One more time. Yes, me too. Let that be your gentle rebellion against shame. Not loud, not harsh, just true. If love exists, it can include me. If good exists, it can include me. If healing exists, it can include me. If miracles exist, they can include me. This is not selfish. This is not asking too much. This is returning to balance. When you do not believe you are worthy, you may over-control because you think you must force life to give you what it would not give freely. But when you remember your worth, your hands open. You no longer need to grab. You no longer need to beg. You no longer need to hold every door shut in fear. You begin to stand in the quiet knowing that good can meet you. Good can come through a kind word. Good can come through a new idea. Good can come through rest. Good can come through a closed door that protects you. Good can come through a delay that prepares you. Good can come through a person who sees you clearly. Good can come through your own healing heart. And sometimes the first good thing is simply this: you stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. You stop calling yourself behind. You stop calling yourself broken. You stop calling yourself too much. You stop calling yourself not enough. You stop calling your life a failure because it is still unfolding. You begin again. Clean slate. Begin. The blackboard can be rewritten. So today, when the old sentence appears, do not panic. Do not say, "I should be past this by now." Simply notice it and choose a new sentence. Old sentence: I have to do everything alone. New sentence: I am open to support. Old sentence: good things do not last for me. New sentence: I allow good to stay and grow. Old sentence: I must control everything or I will not be safe. New sentence: I can be safe in trust. Old sentence: I do not deserve this. New sentence: I am learning to receive with peace. This is how the inner world changes, line by line, choice by choice, breath by breath. Do not rush it. The mind may need repetition. The body may need time. The heart may need proof through small, gentle moments. That is okay. You are not behind in your healing. You are learning a new way to belong to yourself. And as you release the belief that you must earn every good thing through pain, you make space for easier blessings. You make space for calm love. You make space for peaceful money. You make space for kind support. You make space for healing that does not feel like punishment. You make space for miracles that arrive without you breaking yourself open to deserve them. My dear, you are allowed to receive gently. Let that be enough for this moment. You are allowed to receive gently. Again, you are allowed to receive gently. One more time. You are allowed to receive gently. And the next part is gentle but powerful. Your body must learn that letting go is safe. The mind can say, I trust. The mouth can say, I let go. The heart can want peace, but the body must learn it too. This is why letting go is not only a thought. It is not only a sentence. It is not only an idea that sounds beautiful. Letting go must be felt in the body, little by little, until the body understands, I can soften and still be safe. Because if your body has lived in tension for a long time, it may not relax just because you tell it to. It may need patience. It may need kindness. It may need breath. It may need the same loving message again and again. That is okay. You are not failing. Your body is trying to protect you. Your body has carried every worry with you. It has felt the tight chest, the clenched jaw, the shallow breath, the heavy stomach, the tea, red eyes. It has sat with you in the waiting. It has held the fear when you did not know what would happen next. It has tried to keep you ready for pain. So today, speak to your body with love, not with pressure, not with anger, not with, why can't you relax? Say, thank you for trying to protect me. We are learning a new way now. Breathe held, little by little. Think of yourself as a small boat on calm water. For a long time, you may have believed that every wave was a threat. So your body tightened before the wave even came. Your hands gripped the sides. Your breath froze. Your mind shouted, control the water, stop the wind, make the waves behave. But you were never meant to control the whole water. You were meant to learn how to anchor within. Your breath is the anchor. Your body is the boat. Life is the water. And even when the water moves, you can return to the anchor. Let the breath be enough. Let this moment be enough. Let your body learn peace again. Let your hands remember how to open. Let your shoulders remember how to drop. Let your heart remember how to trust. This is the practice. Not once, again and again. 5 soft breaths whenever control rises. Only 5. When the mind begins to race, take 5 soft breaths. When you want to force an answer, take 5 soft breaths. When you want to check again, take 5 soft breaths. When you want to control someone else's mood, take 5 soft breaths. When fear says, do something now, take 5 soft breaths before you move. This does not mean you ignore life. It means you return to yourself before you respond to life. Try it now. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly again. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Let the forehead soften. Let the jaw loosen. Let the tongue rest. Let the throat open. Let the shoulders drop. Let the chest widen. Let the belly stop holding so much. Let the hands become soft. You may notice how much you were holding. You may notice that your body was braced, even in a safe moment. You may notice that rest feels unfamiliar. That is okay. We are not forcing relaxation. We are inviting it. The body says, I am scared to release. Love says, we will release slowly. The body says, if I stop holding, I may fall apart. Love says, you are allowed to be held too. The body says, I do not know how to trust this. Love says, we will practice 1 breath at a time. The body says, I have been tense for so long. Love says, then we will be patient. Let love be patient with you. You do not need to become calm in 1 moment. You do not need to make your whole body relax at once. You do not need to prove that you are spiritual by never feeling fear. You only need to become a little softer than before, a little more present, a little more kind, a little more willing. My body is safe to soften. My breath brings me home. I can release little by little. Let these words be like warm hands on your nervous system. My body is safe to soften. Maybe the body does not fully believe it yet. That is fine. Let the words knock softly. My breath brings me home. This means you can return to yourself anywhere. In a quiet room, in a busy day, before sleep, after worry, while waiting, while hoping, while healing. I can release little by little. This is important. You do not have to release everything all at once. Sometimes the body cannot handle a sudden demand to let go completely, but it can release 1 breath, 1 muscle, 1 thought, 1 small piece of fear. Little by little is still healing. Do not disrespect small steps. Small steps are how safety is built. A child learns to walk 1 step at a time. A flower opens 1 layer at a time. Morning arrives 1 shade of light at a time. Healing often comes the same way. Softly, slowly, truly. Maybe tonight your release is simply unclenching your jaw. Maybe today your release is letting 1 message wait. Maybe this week your release is sleeping instead of overthinking. Maybe this month your release is no longer begging life for proof every hour. Each small release matters. Each small release teaches your body we survived without controlling that. And then the body learns. It learns that you can breathe through uncertainty. It learns that you can wait without panic. It learns that you can want something without chasing it. It learns that you can be safe even when someone else is upset. It learns that you can be whole even before the outcome changes. This is real freedom, because when the body feels unsafe, the mind will always look for something to control. But when the body begins to feel safe, the mind becomes quieter, the heart becomes clearer, the choices become wiser, the energy becomes softer, and miracles can flow more easily through a body that is not always braced for danger. Feel the chair holding you if you are sitting. Feel the bed or blanket holding you if you are resting. Feel the surface beneath your body. Notice that you do not need to hold yourself up every second. Something is already supporting you. Let that be a message. Support is here. Maybe simple support, maybe quiet support, maybe not the full answer yet, but support is here. The breath supports you. The ground supports you. This moment supports your healing. Your willingness supports your change. Life supports you in ways you may not always see. The old habit says, I must hold everything. The new truth says, I am held too. Repeat this slowly. I am held too. Again, I am held too. One more time. I am held too. Let this travel through the body. Let it reach the shoulders. Let it reach his stomach. Let it reach the hands. Let it reach the part of you that has been trying to be strong for too long. My dear, strength is beautiful. But even strong people need rest. Even strong hearts need softness. Even strong souls need to feel held. You were not made to live as a clenched fist. You were made to open and close with life, to give and receive, to act and rest, to speak and listen, to move and be still. Balance is part of healing. So when control rises, do not rush to make it disappear. Instead, meet it in the body. Ask, where do I feel this control? Is it in the chest, the throat, the stomach, the hands, the forehead, the back? Place a gentle hand there if you can. Breathe into that place. Say, I see you. You are safe to soften. This is a loving way to work with fear. You do not need to argue with every thought. Sometimes the body needs comfort more than the mind needs answers. Sometimes a deep breath can do what 10 minutes of thinking cannot do. Sometimes placing a hand on your heart can bring more peace than trying to solve the whole future. Come back to the anchor, the breath, the body, the now. The boat does not need to stop the water. It only needs to remember the anchor. And even if the water is not perfectly still, you can still be held. Even if life is moving, you can still breathe. Even if the answer is not here yet, you can still return to yourself. This is the deep safety that control can never give you. Control says, I will feel safe when everything outside changes. Trust says, I can create safety inside while life is changing. Control says, I need every wave to stop. Trust says, I have an anchor. Control says, I cannot rest until I know. Trust says, I can rest in this breath. This is how your body learns a new way, not by force, by repetition, by kindness, by breath, by soft words, by small moments of not gripping. And as the body learns, the mind begins to trust. The heart begins to open. Your energy begins to shift. You stop sending life the signal of constant danger, and you begin to send the signal of calm willingness. I am here. I am open. I am supported. I am ready to receive. That energy is powerful. Not because it controls life, but because it aligns with life. Before we close, there is one more shift that turns surrender into a miracle practice. Before we close, there is one more shift that turns surrender into a miracle practice. That shift is gratitude. Gratitude is not a hard practice. It is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It is not about denying pain. It is not about saying you like things that hurt you. No, my dear. Gratitude is the gentle choice to notice the good that is still here, even if life is not finished, even if the answer has not arrived, even if our heart is still healing. Gratitude says, I see the light that is already here. Think of gratitude like the first light of morning. At first, it may be small, just a pale glow at the edge of the sky. The whole room may still be dark. The full sun may not be visible yet, but that small light changes everything. It tells you the night is not forever. It tells you something new is coming. It tells you that even before the full day appears, light has already begun. Thank you, already. More is coming. When you release control, you create space, but gratitude fills that space with trust. If you let go, but then fill the empty place with fear, the body may grab control again. But when you let go and say thank you, your heart begins to feel safe in openness. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the strength I did not know I had. Thank you for the good I cannot see yet. Thank you for the door that is opening in the right time. Thank you for the miracle already moving toward me. These words are simple, but they change the energy. Worry says, nothing is changing. Gratitude says, something good is already beginning. Worry says, I need proof. Gratitude says, I can honor the small signs. Worry says, there is not enough. Gratitude says, I bless what is here and I open to more. Worry says, I am alone. Gratitude says, support is already around me. Let gratitude speak. Not loudly, not perfectly, just honestly. Maybe today you are grateful for one deep breath. Maybe you are grateful for a warm drink. Maybe you are grateful that you made it through a hard day. Maybe you are grateful for a kind word. Maybe you are grateful for a quiet room. Maybe you are grateful for the small warmth of your hand resting on your heart. Nothing is too small. Sometimes the smallest gratitude opens the largest door. Because gratitude trains the mind to notice support. And what you notice, you connect with. What you connect with, you feel more deeply. What you feel more deeply, you begin to expect. And what you expect with love, you become more open to receive. This is why gratitude is not only saying thank you after the miracle arrives. Gratitude is how you prepare your heart before the miracle arrives. It says, I trust that good is possible. It says, I am available for more good. It says, I see life loving me in small ways, so I can receive it in larger ways too. Name 5 small blessings before sleep. Only 5. Do not make it difficult. Before your eyes close, name 5 small things. The bed that holds you, the breath that stayed with you, the water you drank, the lesson you learned, the moment you did not give up, the message you needed, the strength in your body, the softness returning to your heart, the quiet hope that still lives inside you. This simple practice changes the way you end the day. Instead of falling asleep inside fear, you fall asleep inside receiving. Instead of ending the day with control, you end it with trust. Instead of counting problems, you count signs of support. And slowly, your inner world becomes lighter. Place one hand on your heart now. Allow even a tiny smile, not forced, just soft. Let the chest loosen. Let the body know that gratitude does not have to be big to be real. Say, I give thanks for what is here. I give thanks for what is coming. I give thanks for the miracles already moving. Feel those words. What is here? What is coming? What is already moving? This is a beautiful way to live. It keeps you rooted in the present while staying open to the future. It does not deny your desire. It does not deny your pain. It simply says, even here I can find one light. And one light is enough to begin. My dear, control often focuses on what is missing. It looks at the empty space and says, why is this not here yet? It looks at the delay and says, what if it never comes? It looks at the unknown and says, I must make something happen. Gratitude looks at the same life and says, what is supporting me now? That question changes everything. What is supporting me now? Maybe the answer is your breath. Maybe the answer is your courage. Maybe the answer is your faith. Maybe the answer is a friend. Maybe the answer is a roof over your head. Maybe the answer is one small idea. Maybe the answer is the fact that you are still here, still trying, still open, still becoming. Bless that. Bless what is here. Bless the little signs. Bless the small beginnings. Bless the quiet help. Bless the hidden growth. Bless the unseen movement. When you bless what is here, you stop fighting this moment. And when you stop fighting this moment, your energy softens. And when your energy softens, receiving becomes easier. This is how gratitude turns release into receiving. Release says, I open my hands. Gratitude says, I bless what is placed there. Release says, I stop forcing. Gratitude says, I see what life is already giving. Release says, I trust the unseen. Gratitude says, I thank the good before it fully appears. This is powerful. Not because you are trying to trick life, not because gratitude is a way to control the universe. Gratitude is not another form of control. Gratitude is surrender with love inside it. It says, I do not need to force life to prove it loves me. I can notice love already moving. And the more you notice love, the less desperate you feel. The less desperate you feel, the more open you become. The more open you become, the more easily miracles can flow. A grateful heart is not a perfect heart. It is a willing heart. A grateful heart can still cry. A grateful heart can still wait. A grateful heart can still want more. A grateful heart can still say, this is hard. But it also says, I am not empty. I am not abandoned. There is still good here. There is still light here. There is still life loving me here. That is enough to begin again. So when fear rises tonight, meet it with one thank you. When control rises tomorrow, meet it with one thank you. When impatience rises, meet it with one thank you. When doubt says, nothing is happening, answer, thank you, life, for what I cannot see yet. That kind of gratitude is faith in simple words. Thank you for what I cannot see yet. Say it softly. Thank you for what I cannot see yet. Again. Thank you for what I cannot see yet. One more time. Thank you for what I cannot see yet. Feel how that opens the heart. You are no longer demanding proof before peace. You are allowing peace to come first. And when peace comes first, your whole life feels different. The same room feels softer. The same waiting feels less heavy. The same desire feels more possible. The same body feels more supported. The same path feels less lonely. Gratitude does not always change everything outside. in one moment, but it changes the way you stand inside the moment. And when you stand differently, you choose differently. You speak differently. You receive differently. That is where the miracle begins. And now we return to where we began. But you are not the same as when you arrived. And now we return to where we began. But you are not the same as when you arrived. You came with a heart that may have been tired from holding too much. You came with a mind that may have been trying to solve everything. You came with hands that may have been gripping outcomes, timing, people, plans, and old fears. But something has softened, maybe just a little, and a little softness is holy. You do not have to be completely changed in one moment. You only have to be willing to choose peace again. You only have to remember that control is not your home. Fear is not your guide. Panic is not your power. Love is. Trust is. The quiet wisdom within you is. Place one hand on your heart. Let the other hand rest open, palm up. One hand reminds you that you are loved. The other hand reminds you that you are ready to receive. Feel the warmth of your palm against your chest. Feel the quiet room around you. Feel the breath moving slowly now. Maybe your body is still carrying some tension, and that is okay. We are not asking the body to be perfect. We are simply letting it know it is not alone anymore. Look inward for a moment, as if you are standing before a gentle mirror. Not a mirror that judges you. Not a mirror that points out every flaw. A loving mirror. A clear mirror. A mirror that shows your true self beneath the fear. See the one who has tried so hard. See the one who kept going. See the one who worried because they cared. See the one who held on because they were afraid to lose. See the one who is now learning to open. Do not criticize this part of you. Bless it. Say, thank you for trying to protect me. We are safe to live a softer way now. The old self says, I must hold everything together. The new self says, life is holding me too. The old self says, I cannot rest until I know. The new self says, I can breathe while life unfolds. The old self says, I have to chase my good. The new self says, what is mine can meet me in peace. The old self says, I must earn every blessing through struggle. The new self says, I am worthy of gentle good. Let the new self speak louder now. From this moment, I choose peace. From this moment, I choose trust. From this moment, I choose to receive. From this moment, I stop calling fear my protection. From this moment, I open my hands to life. From this moment, I let my miracles flow easily. Breathe, open, receive. There is nothing harsh here, no force, no pressure, no demand that you become a new person overnight. Just a loving return to the truth. You are allowed to let go little by little. You are allowed to trust little by little. You are allowed to heal little by little. You are allowed to receive little by little. Little by little is still a path, and your path is sacred. Maybe tomorrow control will rise again. That is okay. You will know what to do. You will pause. You will breathe. You will open your hands. You will ask, what is mine to do and what belongs to life? You will take the next clear step. You will release the rest with love. This is not a one-time moment. This is a way of living, a softer way, a clearer way, a freer way. You will notice when your body becomes tight. You will not shame it. You will comfort it. You will take 5 soft breaths. You will remind yourself, my body is safe to soften. You will notice when you start chasing. You will not attack yourself. You will return to worth. You will say, I do not chase what costs me my peace. You will notice when timing feels slow. You will not decide that you are forgotten. You will place your hand on your heart and say, I am not late. Life is arranging good for me now. You will notice when an old belief says, you must suffer to receive. You will not bow to it. You will write a new truth on the blackboard of your mind. I am worthy of gentle blessings. You will notice when fear says, control everything. And love will answer, open one window, one breath, one step. That is how a life changes. Not always through one giant moment, but through many small returns to love. My dear, miracles are not always far away. Sometimes they are waiting inside the peace you have not allowed yourself to feel yet. Sometimes they are waiting inside the rest you keep delaying. Sometimes they are waiting inside the open hand, the soft breath, the kinder thought, the moment you stop fighting what life is trying to heal. A miracle can begin when you stop calling yourself behind. A miracle can begin when you stop trying to make one person become your whole source of love. A miracle can begin when you stop forcing a door that keeps taking your peace. A miracle can begin when you bless the seed and stop digging it up. A miracle can begin when you thank life for what you cannot see yet. A miracle can begin now, right here in this breath. You do not have to earn this moment of peace. You do not have to be perfect to receive this love. You do not have to understand the whole path before you take the next step. You only have to become willing to soften, willing to trust, willing to release, willing to receive, willing to believe that life may be kinder than your fear has told you. Let that land gently. Life may be kinder than your fear has told you. Again, life may be kinder than your fear has told you. One more time. Life may be kinder than your fear has told you. Let this be the new message you carry forward. Not that you must never feel afraid, not that you must never plan, not that you must never care, but that fear does not need to lead. Control does not need to be the only way. You can live with open hands and still be wise. You can trust life and still take action. You can release control and still be deeply powerful. Power does not always look like gripping. Sometimes power looks like breathing before reacting. Sometimes power looks like waiting without hating the wait. Sometimes power looks like saying no to what steals your peace. Sometimes power looks like receiving help. Sometimes power looks like resting. Sometimes power looks like letting the miracle come in a way you did not plan. This is the quiet strength of surrender. It does not make you less. It makes space for more. More peace, more clarity, more love, more help, more ease, more miracles. You have carried the heavy coat long enough. You can put it down now. You can step out of the old room with locked windows. You can open the door. You can let the first light in. You can allow life to breathe through you again. And if you need to begin again tomorrow, begin again. If you need to begin again tonight, begin again. If you need to begin again in the next breath, begin again. There is no shame in returning. Every return to peace is a victory. Every return to trust is healing. Every return to love is a miracle in motion. Say this softly now. I release control with love. I trust the timing of my life. My miracles flow easily now. Again, let it be simple. I release control with love. This means you do not fight the old pattern. You bless it, thank it, and let it loosen. I trust the timing of my life. This means you stop making delay mean rejection. You allow life to arrange what you cannot see. My miracles flow easily now. This means you open to good without making struggle your only path. Take a slow breath in and out. Feel your body. Feel your heart. Feel the open hand. You are not the same as when you began. Something in you has remembered. Something in you has softened. Something in you has opened to a kinder way. You can leave this moment with a lighter heart, not because every outer thing is solved, but because you are no longer choosing fear as your only guide. You are choosing trust. You are choosing peace. You are choosing to receive. And if this reached you at the right time, write, I release control and receive my miracle. Let those words become a promise to your own heart. Let them become a doorway. Let them become a soft yes to life. I release control and receive my miracle. I release control and receive my miracle. I release control and receive my miracle. Now breathe one more time, my dear. Open your hands. Soften your heart. Let life meet you. And so it is.